And the research on this is becoming quite clear, by the way. So we know that female hyper users of Instagram are also, they're sadistic, Machiavellian, psychopathic, and narcissistic, and they optimize for short-term mating strategies. So they're promiscuous, and that's a marker for antisocial behavior.
For the last day or so, a good portion of the internet has reacted to the most recent erratic behavior of Brittany Renner with a combination of degradation, sympathy, and even amazement. However, she did accomplish her goal. This goal is one shared now with multiple generations of young women. The goal? Attention. A goal that even Sukihana knows all too well with her variety of antics. A simple search for twerking can show you a wide variety of young, attractive women gyrating in front of the camera. You can even hashtag race and get the persuasion of your twerking preference from white to Latina to black to Asian. With this, they gather likes and thirsty compliments by the thousands. While the judgmental might see this twerking as a debasing form of gaining attention, a whole side of social media dedicated to yoga exists. And for those that choose not to twerk, sexy, salacious yoga poses do the same for them. Gather male attention by the bucket load. Social media posts, complete with inviting links to private monetized pages, only prove further that the effect social media has had on female behavior cannot be ignored. A woman 75 years old today has witnessed two of the largest changes to affect the life of the average woman in the history of humanity. The first of these humanity-altering changes happened on May 11, 1960, when the FDA approved oral contraceptive for the first time for public general use. 3 years later, in 1963, 2.3 million Americans were using oral contraceptive. By 1967, the news had spread worldwide as 12.5 million women were spreading the news of oral contraceptive. What the oral contraceptive did was it essentially removed physical consequences from intercourse. Summer of love, anyone? This allowed essentially the opportunity for any woman to have free love with any man she desired in her physical vicinity. This was the first step in a changing environment that fundamentally changed female behavior. With the release of the iPhone in 2007, the smartphone era had just begun, but it wasn't the smartphone that completed the 1-2 punch. It's what the smartphone allowed. 3 days prior to the posting of this video, Statista released this chart detailing the daily time spent on social networking by internet users from the year 2012, pretty much the beginning of social media, to 2023, the current year. And as you can see, from 2012, the number has almost doubled by the year 2023, showing that many people are spending upwards of 2 to 2.5 hours on social media alone every day. Young ladies now live in a world where not only can they be with whom they like and avoid pregnancy, but they can also expand the range of men that meet their threshold of their heightened standards because of their newfound reach. In short, oral contraceptive paired with social media has created an environment by which today's female can operate in a world that is a polar opposite of their great-grandmothers. The impact of social media can be measured in numbers. On this detailed article from Tech Jury, they detail how much time who is spending on which apps. On this Statista survey from 2021, more than 900,000 internet users from 16 to 64 were surveyed across 47 markets, and you can see that there are countries where people are using social media as much as 4 hours a day. And somewhere in the average range, you get America, India, and China at around 2 hours, where you can see that social media use is not just a Western issue. It is a modern issue.
If you post a picture not for your boyfriend, you're posting it to the public, and you know other men follow you. You're making yourself accessible to other men. 59%
of the world's population uses social media. As of January 2023, approximately 64.4% of the world's population, or 5.16 billion, were using the internet. Out of this, 4.76 billion individuals were actively using social media. Another fact, TikTok users have surpassed 1 billion. That means out of every 8 people that you see, one of them is using TikTok.
Would you ladies agree that you have men that are interested in you that follow you on Instagram?
Yeah, but if I don't care,
Then why don't you block them or make your Instagram private?
Another fact, users spend an average of 31 minutes per day on Snapchat. As of 2022, the platform boasts a user base of almost 350 million daily active users. Its most significant markets are India with an audience of 144 million and the US with 107 million users.
Do you think that when a woman is being attractive, it can only be on the basis of other men? Do you think a woman can never dress up for just herself, just to feel good about herself, just because she likes what she looks in the mirror?
Or this factoid, Instagram users are spending a monthly average of 11.7 hours on the platform. Curiously, 31% of its user base, 446.4 million people, are aged 18 to 24.
No, that's bullshit.
You start posting it online, I like this piece of clothing, and then you try to make your boy feel insecure. You wear certain stuff, you post it on the internet, and then you claim that it's because you like it. But no, you really like the attention. You mask the I like it for you really want attention.
Finally, time spent on social media by age. From 16 to 24, people are spending 5 hours and 49 minutes. From 25 to 34, it's 5.5 hours. From 35 to 44, it's 4 hours and 49 minutes. From 45 to 54, it's 4 hours. And even people over 55 are spending an average of 3 hours a day on social media.
Have you never posted a picture for your homies?
And here's the rub. Males spend 10 hours and 58 minutes on social media, while females spend 12 hours and 11 minutes on social media, a difference of about 1 hour and 15 minutes. This suggests that females spend more time on social media than males.
And the thing about social media one of the things about it that's quite interesting and disturbing is that female type antisocial behavior scales brilliantly online. Because it can be done behind the scenes, it can be done anonymously, it can be done with that derisive contempt, let's say, and the consequences are vanishingly small.
A lot of men have given up on women. Men going their own way is growing, and there's good reason for it.
So we know that female hyper users of Instagram are also, they're sadistic, Machiavellian, psychopathic, and narcissistic, and they optimize for short-term mating strategies. So they're promiscuous, and that's a marker for antisocial behavior.
A lot of these women today have a sense of entitlement. Thanks to social media and dating apps, their egos are inflated. They get guys liking their posts and simping on them in their comments, matching on Tinder, and they think they deserve a millionaire with a six-pack abs and a yacht. And they think they don't have to lift a finger.
So antisocial people, broadly speaking, have more sexual partners. They start engaging in sex earlier. They're more callous in their utilization of themselves than others.
Would you call that toxic femininity? Is there such a thing as toxic
absolutely.
femininity?
We know what toxic femininity is.
They don't dress as classy or as nice as women used to. And they either don't keep themselves in shape at all, or they throw out all the filters and trowel on the makeup, giving you a false sense of who they actually are. A lot of them have bad attitudes.
It's the female version of antisocial behavior is reputation savaging, gossip, innuendo, backbiting, and females can be very good at that. Now men can do that too, and they do, especially on social media. But it's definitely the case that social media enables female antisocial type behavior, clearly.
Social media has created a world where the average woman can use her sexuality and beauty to appeal to a subset of men previously not available to her. Social media creates an environment where women are essentially competing against other women's beauty alone, not character, not likability, not friendliness. And as difficult as it is for average men dating in this environment, women pay a higher price in the end. Previously, women were able to create strong social connections with men and women in the real world. Now young women get hooked on heavy doses of attention from social media. And while some delight in seeing women like Brittany Renner publicly go through withdrawal from this attention, it is the competition for attention and the longing for it when it flows to younger women that ultimately leads to attention withdrawal. This is something that women have never been taught how to deal with.
If you're self-conscious, if you're thinking about yourself, you are instantly miserable. And then if you're a teenage, then it gets worse for teenage girls, I think, because we also know that teenage girls experience a spike in eroticism that's attendant on puberty, and that their self-conscious concerns tend to be particularly body-focused. I mean, men are evaluated on the basis of their performance, let's say, but women tend to be evaluated more on the basis of their appearance. You can see that's a perfect storm for young girls because they hit a negative emotion peak at 13. Now they're susceptible to bullying. They're extremely self-conscious about their bodies. And then the entire online world is a place to display for public. It's like the old nightmare that people have about public speaking is being naked on a stage. That's really, in some real sense, what the social media world has done to teenage girls. It's got to be damn near unbearable.
Currently, many men are withdrawing from the dating pool and are going overseas in hopes of finding a situation that's more like what their great-grandfathers could have found in terms of dating and marriage. But in a world where old contraceptive and social media are pervasive, men will have to likely institute a new form of vetting. How addicted is she to social media? How often does she check her phone for updates? How often does she post videos or photos of herself in search of validation? In this world, it's less and less likely by the day that we can find a young woman who does not use social media. It's now a part of all of our lives. What does this vetting look like? This indeed might be the dating question of generations to come. The question remains, is she using social media, or is social media using her? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.